ומעשירה. Learn English podcast with Safa Shelley, the world's best language school. Let's go.
ברוכים הבאים לפודקאסט של שפות שלי, בית ספר לאנגלית ושפות נוספות. אני אריאל, I'm your host for today. I'm here with the one and only Joshua.
Hello.
How are you, Josh?
I'm good.
Good to see you. Good to have you back on the podcast.
Yeah, it's good to be here.
Thank you guys for listening. תודה רבה על הפידבק ששלחתם לנו השבוע, על הפרק שעבר. All the love mail, the hate mail, we appreciate
Hate
it.
mail?
No, I'm kidding. This is not hate mail.
No hate.
It's only good mail. And thank you for getting in touch by WhatsApp and by phone. תודה רבה לכל המאזינים שלנו. אם זו פעם ראשונה שאתם מאזינים לפודקאסט הזה, אז אתם הגעתם למקום הנכון לשמוע וללמוד קצת אנגלית בצורה כיפית ומענה, ללמוד אוצר מילים חדש, נושאים מעניינים, ולאמן את האוזן שלכם להקשיב לאנגלית. כמובן, אם תרצו לשפר את האנגלית מדוברת שלכם, spoken English, right?
Yeah.
That's what we do. That is our expertise.
But we also do corporate English.
Corporate English, and
Yeah.
we do academic English. We do like a metric and IELTS, and
It depends what you need to learn.
depends what you need to learn. Okay, so anything to do English related, and actually anything to do language related, because we teach like 9 languages here.
Yeah.
Please get in touch with us by WhatsApp on 053-550-1976. אנחנו מתמחים בהוראה מקצועית פרטנית, אחד על אחד, one on one, בשיטה המובילה בעולם, עם talented and amazing, talented and caring team, just like Josh and our staff here. So please get in touch. Now, today, we have an interesting episode. We're going to talk about basically small talk. It's sort of prompts and questions which sometimes are difficult to answer or debatable. אפשר לדון עליהם, שאלות כאלה שאפשר לדון עליהם גם, ושזה יוצר סוג של small talk בקלות.
Getting to know people. You want to ask questions, what your opinion is on something, or ask about a personal experience.
Right.
חוויה אישית.
Okay, so before we get into the חוויות אישיות, I wanted to give a bit of a background. אחד מהמורות שלנו כאן, המאוד מאוד מוכשרות, יצרה מין משחק כרטיסים כזה, card game, okay? Which I don't want to say the name. The name's pretty funny though. It's called small talk. It's like prompt cards where you ask a certain question, very interesting questions, and then the other side has to respond. They're fun cards. We're going to go through them soon, okay? ונראה, אתם יכולים קצת לשמוע איך מנהלים קצת שיח, איך עונים לשאלות מעניינות, איך לפתח small talk שיכול להיות מעניין. לפני זה אני הולך לשאול את ג'וש כמה שאלות שהן debatable, שאפשר לדון עליהן. זאת אומרת, זה שאלות קשות, difficult questions, that have not everyone will agree to the answer, but the interesting questions. So let's start with the first one. השאלה הראשונה, האם אנשים, אוקיי, שמעשנים ושותים בצורה, in an abusive way, in a heavy way, בצורה כבדה, האם הם צריכים לשלם יותר עבור רפואה? לקבל, so in English, would people that smoke and drink heavily, should they pay more for their healthcare?
That's a really interesting question. You know, I think that this is maybe something that could be permissible, but we have to add to it then.
Okay.
We also need to include people that eat very unhealthily, right?
Okay.
באופן לא בריא. אוכלים ממש לא, באופן לא בריא. Because I think that, these are all lifestyle choices. Obviously, they're not healthy lifestyle choices, but we live in a free society and people should be able to do that. And healthcare, in my opinion, should be primarily a right for people. So everyone should get healthcare. My own personal opinion.
But if you are putting more mishkal, it's a weight on the healthcare system because you are an abusive guy, because you're smoking way too much, abusing your body. And now we as a society need to maintain your healthcare goes up.
Fair.
You're raising the healthcare costs for everyone else because you're deciding to not eat healthy, drink alcohol, and smoke. Do you think that's right for everybody else to carry that weight?
Oh, I think that's a very, very good argument, actually.
Okay.
I think that, so then, yeah, if I guess I agree because you make a very good argument. And I think the only argument against it is, well, how do you measure these things, right? Do you have to if you have healthcare, does everyone need to take a urine test every day? Or every month, right? Every month.
I'll tell you the way it works in, for example, private. יש רפואה ממלכתית פה, like the regular, Maccabi,
national
insurance, whatever it is, like
health insurance,
Maccabi, Kalilit, whatever it is. Then you have private healthcare. Now, in private healthcare, they're going to ask you, do you smoke? Do you drink alcohol? Okay, they're going to ask you for your blood test. So they can see if you have in your blood, if you're, let's say, an obese human being, they'll see in your blood that your blood tests are not that good. They'll see also that, for example, if you declare that you don't smoke and you end up smoking, then they won't cover any damage that comes from the smoke.
Yeah.
So, for example, the healthcare system already, let's say, incorporates that.
Interesting.
There's a social question whether it's right or not. The mamlachti the national one, less really cares whether you smoke or not. I mean, they're going to raise your premium for you to pay more because you smoke. And, I'm a believer that, unfortunately, in these cases, you want to keep your privacy as well. You want to have that freedom of choice. I'd rather have the freedom, even if I'm not smoking, not drinking, or eating healthy. I want to have the freedom to not eat healthy.
So you would foot the bill?
I would foot the bill for those guys, yeah.
To foot the bill זה לשלם את החשבון.
לשלם את החשבון. להשתתף בחשבון.
You don't mind paying.
של החבר'ה שמעשנים ושותים ואוכלים לא בריא. למה? כי אני חושב שעדיף, it's worth having, it's better to have that freedom, okay? And honestly, I can, on a personal level, I can understand why people do these things.
Well, also another good argument, and again, this is, you could also add, this is, I think a similar thing is that, some people are actually born with a predisposition. They're a yerusha, I think that's the word. Yerushim.
Yeah, they inherit.
They inherit, like, Yorshim, Torah. Yorshim, a predisposition for
נטייה, predisposition. Yeah, it's a hard word. תחשיבו, predisposition, נטייה. That's an intelligent word.
In the sense of health, bריאות. Okay, for for drinking alcohol or for nicotine, and obesity as well, right? So some people can't necessarily. They make choices, but they're the way their body is programmed. They have this predisposition towards certain things.
That's correct. For example,
not to take away agency though.
אני אתן למאזינים שלנו דוגמה, היינו במשרד עכשיו, יש לנו פעם בשבוע סוג של happy hour כזה. Fun time, happy hour time. ואז תמיד יש משהו אחר, גלידות או whatever it is. Today היו גלידות בדרך אגב. And I went and grabbed the glida, an ice cream. Josh took one bite and he looked at it and he was like, I can't eat this. This is not healthy. This is not meat.
Yeah.
This is not an animal. I can't eat this. Okay. So, you actually threw it away, which from one side, looking at it from I'm a little bit I'm overweight. But looking at it from a guy who's overweight, looking at a guy who's keeping himself fit. That's good. It's admirable. Okay. But
I appreciate it.
Okay, so now that's a bit of a backdrop to that story. Let's move on. I want to ask you one more question actually before we get on to the cards,
okay,
which are going to be a lot more fun. All right, so basically, do you think that social media is a waste of time and is dangerous for children?
I think it is a waste of time, and I also think it is dangerous, actually. Yeah.
You think both? It's dangerous and a waste of time?
Yeah, both. But I think that there's not entirely. There's something, we live in the age of tech, right? And I think that social media could have been done or could be utilized maybe in an educational format, actually teaching people how to socialize on the internet, like learning, internet etiquette. Because I think right now, these spaces, Twitter, Face, I'm not on any of them, but they seem, from the memes and the pop culture references about DMing and, FOMO, it's very unhealthy, right? So I think that kids should learn. It should be a thing if it's something that the cat's out of the bag, right? So it's not like the question is, should we ban social media? It exists already. So I think people need to kind of learn about it, learn about the impacts, understand that, when a child feels that he's missing out because you're not a child, but a teenager feels that he or she is not as handsome or attractive or smart or cool because they see something on social media, there needs to be some sort of mechanism or way of teaching kids from the get-go to understand that this is kind of not reality, right?
Yeah, look, it can get to the whole of matzav that people go down conspiracy theories, alter reality.
Well, that's
see things they shouldn't see.
Yeah,
many things it's got its negatives for sure. And look, in Australia, they banned TikTok for children under the age of 16.
Yeah, but that's again, these things are very hard to enforce.
Of course, yeah, they are. I'm sure there's legislation or something that if TikTok opens the app, TikTok can see if a child's using the app or not. So I don't know. I'm sure they got some kind of legal repercussions if that happens. In any case, I think that there are positives to social media, like meeting people. A lot of people got married through social media, but it's better to get married the normal standard way. Life was a lot better before social media even came across it. I would scrap it, even besides the benefits. I think the negligible, if you take a look at the damages done to society, it's absolutely horrific. It's made life plastic, disgusting, and people are chasing materialism, and it makes me want to, like, don't get me wrong, I enjoy materialism, דברים חומריים, אבל it can be the be-all and end-all.
Yeah.
It can be the tachlit of your life.
Yeah.
And if the tachlit of your life, then wake up and start to appreciate the better things in life.
Or continue buying things and enjoy your drug, right?
Enjoy it.
Better than, I guess it's, I don't know what's better or worse.
I get on their drug. I get on their drugs sometimes of buying stuff, but it never really fills you up like a moment, okay? Or an experience, or a relationship, or a deep thought, or a musical inspiration.
But they're more like the smell of a new car. Spouse.
Look, I'll tell you the truth. When I bought my first car, I still remember the day of the excitement of it and stuff like that. But it weighs off in about 2-3 months of like it's gone. And then you get used to everything. It's material.
And then it's the smell of the parking tickets.
Yeah. And like Shlomo Melech, the King Solomon once said, there's nothing new under the sun. And Akol Hebel Evalim, everything is just, if you want to look at it that way, everything else is meaningless. It's a waste. So live your life in a fruitful way. Enjoy your life with material things, but look for the meaning. All right. So now, after the deep, I don't want to go down that rabbit hole.
Yeah.
Let's have some fun. We're going to open up the cards, which are called F, small talk. I'm not going to say the swear word. Otherwise, this podcast will be censored. So we're going to get down to this part, to this cards, and let's see how this goes. All right.
All right. So choose a card.
Look at this one. This is the first one.
Wait, let's give our listeners some vocabulary. Did you shuffle the cards yet? What was it to shuffle the cards?
Shuffle זה בעצם לערבב את הקלפים. I'm going to shuffle them. I'm going to shuffle them, and because the first question that came up was, I'm going to skip that one.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Some of these questions are too juicy. Some of these are a little bit like...
יש להם יותר מדי עומק או יותר מדי אישיים. I don't want to do that to you at the moment live on air. Even though I know you're a pretty open guy and you don't have much to hide, but I don't want to do that. It's not, I don't want to put you on the spot like that, okay? יש לנו כאן לפחות ב-5,000 מאזינים, שמאזינים לנו כאן כרגע, 5,000 people, if you take a look at it carefully.
Wow.
Think about it. It's like a little stadium at the moment, right? In your little stadium, so say what you want to say. Feel comfortable. תרגיש בנוח. All right, let's go. First question that's coming up. Okay. What achievement are you most proud of?
It's a really good question. I think probably, I've been teaching here for a long time. I think I'm very proud of the fact that I've been working here for like 3, 4, 5 years actually now. And I'm very proud of everything that I've learned and just, what I've become. Yeah.
All right. I want to say on a personal
note. What about you?
I want to say on a personal note about that. Wait, before I get into it, we're gonna get to ask each other one. But before we get on a personal, I want to say I've seen you evolve into the human being, the teacher, and the professional that you are.
Aww.
And it's
so nice.
It's next level. זה רמה אחרת לגמרי, משהו מטורף. Since you arrived and what you have done, the amazing inspiration work you've done to inspire people, and the amount of people you've reached out and touched.
Thousands of students.
In a really special ways. I have to say, like a lot of your students actually are fans.
Yeah.
So I just want to say it's been amazing. And you've done amazing work. So I'm going to let you ask me one now.
All right, let's see. I choose a card.
This is an interesting small talk. What's there?
This one's too juicy. I'm not going to ask that. Honestly, I'm curious, actually. I know that there's a few of these. Okay, so this is a good one. What skill have you learned just from watching tutorials online?
Okay,
this is a good question.
All right. As אני למדתי lots of skills actually from watching tutorials online. I learned from programming, from תכנות, right down to advertising online, right down to organic traffic and organic SEO. That I've done from tutorials באינטרנט ודברים כאלה.
Wow.
I've also learned a new language, not learned, but let's say got the base of a new language. But again, הבעיה עם online tutorials and doing anything online or any sort of formatted like a tutorial is that it's good to a certain extent. Because if you don't implement it, you don't get hands-on.
You don't have someone next to you with you. Yeah.
Yeah, not necessarily someone next to you, but you need someone. You need to work. If you're programming, you need a hands-on project. If you're learning a language, you need hands-on to work with someone to guide you.
Yeah.
If you're studying advertising, you need a budget to spend. You need to get working in the field. אז עד שאתה לא בעצם מטמיע את התהליך, אז אתה לא יכול בעצם להביא את הכישורים האלה לפועל. You can't bring those skills to the table. But what I try to do is learn something new every day, whether it's 5 minutes or 10 minutes or even half an hour. מאוד מאוד חשוב, קחו חצי שעה כל יום, תלמדו משהו חדש. And in today's modern age, you don't have an excuse not to do it. Because you do have at your fingertips knowledge that kings and queens would literally be head for. Okay? יש לך ChatGPT בידיים, and that is an amazing one. Let me ask you one now. Let's see what we got here, Josh. That was a good question. I enjoyed it. I want to find a good one. I'm going to shuffle. I'll be it nicely. And I'm going to ask you a question which is very, very interesting, and I feel one now. And I do that. You can
Yeah.
It's the Joshua כבר מזיע. I can then you're Joshua כבר a little bit nervous. Oh, okay, but this is small talk because this game, you're not good about, what's good about this, מה טוב שאתם יכולים להכיר הרבה על מישהו, לכמה שאלות בכרטיסיות האלה. I think you should carry in your pocket. Maybe you go to a date, you're still in the dating field, just have these on you and say, I'm going to ask you a few questions.
Well,
a couple of cards, just feel ask you. So this is a deep one. This is deep.
Reading through.
Nothing personal, but it's deep.
It's also good practice on self-censorship.
Yeah. So this is an interesting one. How do you feel about God?
That's a deep question.
It's deep.
It's something that I don't think about too much.
So you said something interesting. Jesus.
Yeah, well, that's an American.
It's also South African in the world. Say, oh, Jesus.
Well, geez.
In South Africa, or they'll say, like in Afrikaans, they would say Yassis.
Really?
Yeah, that's all Yassis. It's like, okay. So.
Well, it's like, this is a question that I try to leave ambivalent.
Okay.
For many reasons, but.
What does ambivalent mean?
Like, no clear answer,
ambivalent אומר שג'וש לא הולך להיות לא בשר ולא חלב.
Well,
not going to be not fleishik and not milchik. It's going to be parov. It's going to be.
Well,
it's going to be like not a short lunch.
Maybe we're confusing our listeners. No, I think, God is. I love existing. I love my life. I love everything that God has given. Right, but I found that the more I dive into this topic, the less happy I am as a person. So I like to keep things kind of
light
surface level. Okay. No complaints though. No. I have no gripes with them.
All right. Okay. So that's interesting. I want to give you my perspective on it as well. Give you my 2 cents on this one. I'm not particularly religious, but I do think there has to be an existence. Like if you see an amazing painting, there has to be a painter behind it.
Exactly.
So I don't want to get too deep of one of the paintings painted the way it is, because there's some very beautiful things in the painting and there's some horrific parts of the painting. So I don't want to get involved in like the reasoning. I'd like you, I try to avoid the overthinking it because it will make me extremely unhappy. I want to live a happy and free life. But on the other hand, it's important for every man, woman, and child. So it's important to basically establish and build a relationship with God and look at the beauty and be grateful. That's all. No matter the situation, trying to be grateful, look at the positive.
Yeah.
It's always easy to look at the negative things in life.
Because when the negative is happening, you might as well,
Look, I heard a nice analogy to it. It's like when you have a sore tooth, right? Everyone's got a certain thing which isn't perfect in their life. There will always be one thing or a couple things. Sometimes many things can go wrong.
Yeah.
But hopefully it's 1 or 2 things, and you'll never. It's like a sore tooth. You don't appreciate that. Let's say 40 teeth which are healthy.
Yeah.
You always look at the 32. You always look at the 1 tooth which is like the painful tooth. So yeah. Do you have 32 teeth?
I believe so.
What do you do with the other 8?
I believe the human only has 32. I believe it's like 32. I don't think it's important. I don't think people have 40.
Are you kidding? Okay. All right. Where is the most beautiful place you've ever seen? And we're going to round off the podcast with that question today.
It's a really hard one. Definitely in Israel.
Okay.
I would say
Israel. That's surprising.
I love this country. Everywhere is so beautiful. I think that there's a bluff actually when I lived in Netanya, I'd go running by the bluff. We can see it from the office right here.
What is the bluff?
The bluff is it's like a hill, like a cliff right above a lake or a place where there's water, right? Mm-hmm. So I would say the beach in Netanya, I think, is one of the most beautiful places, honestly.
Really?
Like if you go a little bit north, there's this area where it's like, it's not, you're not by houses or anything. There's like there's a rock wall behind you.
Okay. I like it as well. There's beautiful sunsets here. But I think probably one of the most beautiful places I've seen is on Table Mountain.
Oh, where's that?
Shulchan HaHar. Where do you think that is? Table Mountain?
South Africa?
Yeah, but where?
Cape Town?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, Table Mountain is in Cape Town. Yeah, Cape Town is one of those few cities which is on the corner of the continent, and it's got a mountain, a beautiful mountain, huge mountain, and a beach. So it's a combination of mountain and beach. I love my beach and a mountain like that I can appreciate.
Did you climb the mountain?
Yeah, you can go.
You guys hiked?
Hiked part of it, but you can go up on a רכבל,
a cable car?
Cable car, רכבל, cable car. All right, אז היה לנו כמה מילים, הרבה מילים חדשות that we had today. Predisposition, נטייה, רכבל, many stuff that went through today. And thank you guys for listening. That is all for today. Our producers just came past.
Yeah.
Our lovely producer. She looks great today. Came past today to cut us off. So we are going to have to round up this podcast for today. And we'll continue another time. I had fun, Josh. A couple difficult questions. And a few good ones. It was nice to get to know you a little bit. There's a few more difficult ones here which I want to ask you. When and why was the last time you broke someone's heart? What's your worst injury and how it happened? This is insane. These are just some of these questions. What was a significant turning point in your dating life? That's deep.
It's not a question for a podcast.
What's the longest friendship you've ever had? Okay, complete the sentence. I know I'm in love when. All right. I'll tell you this, or if I got a joke recording there, but not on air. All right, אנשים. Thank you for listening. תודה רבה שהקשבתם לנו היום. We'll be back next week. Keep learning, keep growing, and keep improving, and dream and reach for. I mean, English is doable, right?
Yeah.
Out of any skill that you're doing, what is the most easiest skill you can think of?
Speaking English.
I wouldn't exaggerate, but yeah, it is. It's not rocket science. And get in touch. We'd love to help you guys. Thank you for listening. Have an amazing day. Bye-bye.